Welcome. Welcome once again to a live stream that I actually just did. But I did not realize that the audio was not really working correctly. And when I read all the comments and actually saw the video afterwards, I just deleted everything and decided I wanted to do this stream again. So, what we're going to be talking about today is the Hoyer G10 and the Finka Westphalia. They're both German horns, and they both retail for about $6,500. $6,500 is a really weird price point because everything higher than $6,500 is clearly a premium professional horn. And when I call a horn a professional horn, it means that professionals who make their living or a significant portion of their living off of playing choose to risk their careers and their livelihoods by playing that particular instrument. Just because a manufacturer calls an instrument professional really means nothing. And paid product placement and paid artists, I don't count those people as well. Nothing wrong with people who who take, um, who become artists of a certain company. I mean, I would if given the chance, but I'm looking at professionals who are just straight up choosing to make their living off of those instruments. Instruments below $6,500 tend to be student and pre professional instruments. So, why would you get something in the middle? I guess we'll find out today. But first, I'm going to play something on my personal horn, which is a Medlin double. And the mouthpiece I use, as always, one day I'm going to do a video just on this mouthpiece, but not today. It's the Veris PF. Okay, and I'm going to check the comments one more time to make sure that we're not going to do the entire live stream with terrible audio. Okay, nothing seems to be popping up. So let's continue with the first horn we're going to try today. This is the Finka Westphalia. The Finka Westphalia retails for $64.95. It's made in a small workshop in Vlotho, Germany by Johannes Finke. So when I say a small workshop environment, I mean a small, I mean that there are a handful of people who are working together to make the instruments. So 5 to 6 workers who work under the master craftsman Johannes Finke. On that subject, there are three classifications that I put horn manufacturers in. There are factory made horns. So these are factories that make hundreds or thousands of horns a year. Uh, due to the due to being made in a factory, factory made horns are cheaper. Um, and the consistency and quality varies a lot. There are good factories and there are bad factories. The workshop environment really seems to be a German thing because you find makers like Rico Kuhn, Engelbert Schmid, Dieter Otto, Dietmar Dirk of Dirk Horns. They are all made in small workshops. And then you have the one man, the one man team. So those are mostly American makers. So like Jacob Medlin, who made my horn, Jim Patterson and Las Cruces, New Mexico, Dan Vidikin in Chicago, Steve Lewis in Chicago. Those are all one man makers. They only make a small number of handmade, truly custom horns every single year. Yeah, this is a very nice horn to play. It's in tune, it's has a nice rich sound. It is fun to play. This is really this is really the cheapest handmade workshop horn that you can get. At least a German made workshop horn. I can't think of anything else that's cheaper. One really unique thing about Finka's horns is that the valves are made of a composite material instead of the usual material, which is solid brass. Solid brass is heavy, so it ends up being the heaviest part of the horn and adds most of the weight that you feel. Because of the composite material, it makes this horn unusually light. And because when you move the valves, you're moving less material, it makes the valves very, very quick. I have been to Vloto, and actually, I've been to most of the uh, most of the German most of the German workshops whose horns we sell. Yeah, they're all really nice people, and if you ever get a chance to go to Germany, I hope you can visit one of those shops as well. We play a little bit more on the Finka. Let's test the high and the low range. Okay, I realized that I wasn't super careful with the rhythm in the mauler, but I'm concentrating more on sound and how the horn feels. This is a very balanced horn. It has a nice high register and it has a decent low register as well. So I would say this horn again is well balanced. Let's try let's try the Hans Hoyer G10. Let me check the chat, make sure there are no issues. No one's saying anything, or no one's watching. Who knows? So here's a bit on the Hans Hoyer G10. Oh, I played all that, and I just realized I played all that and did not have the picture from the website down. But I hope you still got good um, a good overview of what the horn sounded like. I'll play a few more excerpts on it later. But for now, this is the Hans Hoyer G10. Now let's try something in the high register. Oh, to answer one comment, yes, my mic is still on. So this horn has a very different sound from the Finka Westphalia. Uh, in the first string that you'll never see because I deleted it, I felt like this horn didn't quite have the same heft of sound as the Westphalia, but I really think it's just different. To me, it feels like a brighter sound. However, if you've ever heard your voice in a recording and realize that it's very different from what you think it sounds like, understand that horn is a bit that way too. What you think is coming out of your bell is not necessarily what other people hear. And what other people will hear in a hall is very different from what people will hear in a small room. So keep that in mind. The Hans Hoyer G10 is a factory made horn. So you can think of the Westphalia as the cheapest German workshop horn, while the Hans Hoyer would be the most expensive German made factory horn. As you can see here, even though the Hans Hoyer retails at around 6,500, this particular model is a demo horn. Demo horns, 9 times out of 10, means that it got damaged in transit from the manufacturer to us. And what will usually happen is the manufacturer will give us some money off, which we pass along to you and then mark it down as a demo. So really, it's a great opportunity to get what's essentially a new horn. Okay, I switched mics. Um, a demo horn is a great opportunity to get what's essentially a new horn and save 500 bucks or so because of some slight damage that we repair, by the way, and that you're going to have a hard time finding. But because it was damaged, obviously we cannot sell it as brand new. So it's to your advantage. Getting back to the horn itself, as you could tell in the Mauler, this horn had a much harder time responding in the low register than the Finka did. However, the high register was awesome. I think that's the trade-off. This horn has a better high register than the Finka, but it suffers at the low register. What I like about the Finka over this is the Finka is more well balanced. This is a horn that's better at high stuff, at least for me. So for the way I play using my mouthpiece, this horn did not want to open up in the low register at much at all. So if anything, just because of that, I would, if I had to pick between these two horns, I would pick the Finka Westphalia. Though both horns are excellent, and I doubt anyone would go wrong by choosing either one of them. Let me see what's in chat here. Oh, cool. Here's a comment here. Hello, Derek. I just had difficulty finding out how to post my comment. My late wife and I had the pleasure of spending a week with Helmut Finke and his daughter Caroline at IHS 1988. He was an engineer by training and a trumpet player and was very proud of his application of engineering knowledge to the development of his lightweight horn valves. We really enjoyed them. Carolyn and I traded horns for a night, and I thought the America's model was really fine. My primary instrument was my 8D. Yeah, the amount of engineering that goes into the Finka horn is truly amazing. Ever since Johannes took over for his father Helmut, he's made a lot of he's made a lot of improvements to the design. Helmut's valves needed to be lubricated with water, and oil would make them swell, and sometimes they would, and a lot of times they had high failure rates. What Johannes has been able to do is create composite valves that can just be oiled as normal and don't have the same problem with swelling due to temperature fluctuations or moisture or things like that. So they are even more durable now than they have been in the past. And think they really stand by these valves. Officially, I believe they have a 5-year warranty on the valves, but I've seen Johannes send free valves and service instruments much older than that, um, without any charge, just because he wants to make sure that everyone is happy with with the composite valves. So yeah, I'm gonna play a little bit more on the Finka due to having the web page up the entire time playing before. We'll see how it goes. So looks like my E to E slur needs a little work. But other than that, like I said, both horns are good horns. This G10, it's not. I would have to spend a little more time figuring out where the note centers are. While on the Finka Westphalia, I guess they're closer to what I play, so it's not much of an issue. So I'm getting a richer, more centered sound to my ear than I am on the Hans Hoyer G10. If you have any other questions, just be sure to let us know in chat, or you can message us on Facebook. Starting next week, I'm hoping to do these live streams and horn comparisons at least twice a week. So there'll be plenty of opportunity to hear lots of different horns that come through our shop. If you go to our website, houghtonhorns.com, and you see anything that you would really like to see played, just again, leave us a message or leave it in the chat or in the comments, and I'll be sure to get to it sooner than later. Uh, and I think that's it for today. Bye.